Welcome to my 3-minute history video on the NES. Let's get started. Welcome to our video about the history of the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. The NES was a revolutionary console that changed the world of video games forever. In this video, we'll explore the history of the NES from its early beginnings to its impact on the video game industry. The early days of Nintendo. To understand the history of the NES, we need to start with the early days of Nintendo. Nintendo was founded in 1889 as a manufacturer of playing cards. It wasn't until the 1970s that Nintendo started experimenting with electronic games. Their first console, the Color TV game, was released in 1977 and was a commercial success in Japan. Section 2. The birth of the NES. In 1983, the video game industry suffered a massive crash, leading many to believe that the era of video games was over. However, Nintendo saw an opportunity to revitalize the industry with a console. The NES was first released in Japan in 1983 under the name Famicom. It was an instant hit, selling over 2.5 million units in its first year. Section 3. The launch in North America. The NES was later released in North America in 1985. The initial release was not a huge success, but with the later release of Super Mario Bros., the NES began to gain popularity. Super Mario Bros. Became the best-selling video game of all time at that point, and helped to establish the NES as a must-have console. Section 4. The impact on the video game industry. The NES was more than just a console. It was a cultural phenomenon. The NES brought video games into homes all over the world and introduced a new generation to the joys of gaming. The NES also had a profound impact on the video game industry, inspiring many companies to develop their own console. Section 5. The legacy of the NES. The NES may have been released over 35 years ago, but its legacy lives on. Many classic NES games are still beloved today, and the console itself remains an icon of the video game industry. The NES paved the way for future consoles, and its impact can still be felt in the video game industry today. Conclusion. The Nintendo Entertainment System was a revolutionary console that changed the video game industry forever, from its early beginnings in Japan to its impact on the North American market. The NES left a lasting impact on the world of gaming. We hope you enjoyed learning about the history of the NES, and we encourage you to check out some of the classic games that made the NES such an iconic console. Thanks for watching!